Welcome back to another daily problem. As always, if you get stuck anywhere during this explanation, drop a question in the comments down below and I will absolutely reply to help you out. Let's jump right into today's challenge. It's called Find the Lexicographically Smallest Valid Sequence. Here is the problem page, but it's a bit dense, so let's break down exactly what it's asking us to do step by step. Start off with two strings, a longer string called word1 and a shorter target string called word2. Our mission is to find a specific sequence of positions, or indices, inside word1. When we take the characters at those positions, they need to spell out something that is almost exactly the same as word2. What does almost equal mean? It means we are allowed to have exactly one mismatch. We get one free pass to change a character in our sequence to make it match word2 perfectly. There are a few rules for our sequence of positions. First, they have to be in increasing order, meaning we have to pick letters from word1 moving from left to right. Second, as we just covered, the string those letters form must match word2, using at most one of our free edits. Here is the tricky part. There might be multiple ways to do this. We need to return the sequence of positions that is lexicographically smallest. In simple terms, this means we want to pick the lowest, earliest possible indices we can find. Let's trace an example. Word1 is VBCCA. Word2 is AB circa. We are trying to find the earliest positions that can spell out ABC with one allowed mistake. We look at the first letter in word1, which is Warakripinakration versus Brussen. Our first target letter is a Bolidai Blix. They don't match. Can we pick it anyway? Yes, we can. We can use our one free edit to pretend this V is an A. Because we want the smallest indices possible, we should grab index 0 immediately. Now our target moves to the next letter, B. The next letter in word1 is also B. It's a perfect match, so we don't need any edits. We add index 1 to our answer. Finally, our last target letter is C. The next available letter in word1 is C. Another perfect match, we add index 2. We've matched the whole target string, so our final answer is 0, 1, 2. Picking the earliest letters sounds easy, right? It's a greedy approach. But there is a huge trap here. What if using our free edit too early means we run out of letters later on? Imagine we use our one skip on the very first letter, but then we look at the rest of word1 and realize it's missing the ending of word2 completely. We would fail. To fix this, we need a safety net. Before we confidently march forward making greedy choices, we need to look ahead. We do this by doing a preliminary scan of the words from right to left. We build an array called the last array. For every letter in word2, we figure out the latest, rightmost position in word1 that could possibly match it. Here is the code for that part. We loop backwards through word1. If we see a character we need for the end of word2, we record its position. This array acts like a map of the future. It tells us exactly where the safety fallbacks are. Once our safety net is built, we do our actual run, scanning from left to right through word1. When considering the current letter in word1, we always pick it if it exactly matches our current target letter. But what if they don't match? We only use our skip if three things are true. They don't match, we still have our skip available, and crucially, our safety net confirms that the rest of the word can still be completed if we use the skip right now. How do we check the safety net? We just ask, is our current position in word1 strictly before the required starting position of the next characters we need to match? Here is the full Python solution put together. Let's zoom in on the most complex part of that second loop to make sure it makes sense. This single if statement is the brain of the algorithm. Let's slice it into pieces. The first part is easy. If the current character in word1 equals the current character we need for word2, we found a match. If it's not a match, we move to the next check. Is the skip variable still 0? If we've already used our edit, we can't do this. And here is the safety check. If we are on the very last letter of word2, we don't need to worry about the future. If we aren't, we look at the last array for the next letter, j plus 1. Our current position, I, must be less than that future position, otherwise using a skip here would doom us. What happens if we reach the end of word1 and we still haven't found all the letters for word2? The problem says if no valid sequence exists, return an empty array. We check this at the very end. If our index j didn't reach the length of word2, it means we failed, so we return an empty list. Let's talk about performance. The time complexity is big O of om plus m. We do one pass right to left and one pass left to right. It is extremely fast. The space complexity is big O of m, because the only extra memory we allocate is that last array, which is exactly the size of word2. Before we look at the other languages, a quick channel update. I'm experimenting with making the visuals punchier and the pacing faster so you can get the answer quicker. As a reminder, I generate these videos using AI for my own study routine, so there are no ads or sponsors. Please let me know down in the comments if this faster format is helpful, and remember to ask any questions you have there too. Alright, as promised, let's look at the solutions for other languages. If you want to copy and paste this code without typing it, just head to the link in the description. Here is the full solution in Java. It uses the exact same logic, just adapted for Java string methods and arrays. Next up, here is the C++ version, utilizing vectors for dynamic array resizing. And finally, here is the solution written in JavaScript. To summarize what we learned today, greedy algorithms are great for finding the smallest or earliest things, but they often need a pre-computed safety net so they don't paint themselves into a corner. Taking a moment to scan right to left saved us from doing massive amounts of recalculation. If you found this explanation helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to get your daily problems solved fast every morning. If you want to support my goal of eventually building a library for every Leetcode problem ever, check out the Buy Me a Boba link. Keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one.